What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of In the Wild. I'm Rayshawn, and today we have a little treat for you because if you are thinking about attending Augusta University, this is the episode all for you. Because first up, we have Matthew Coverson-Springs, who is an assistant director for student recruitment in our Office of Academic Admissions, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about just what makes Augusta University unique, what makes us like no other, and all the experiences that you could get if you choose to enroll here. And then we're going to talk to Sierra Sasha Webber, who is the coordinator for Multicultural Student Engagement, and she's also holds a special title of coordinator for our Augusta Promise Scholarship program. And that's a very unique program to our university because if you didn't already know, AU is one of the most affordable colleges in the state of Georgia. And we have this special scholarship program that makes us help bridge that gap for those students in need. So I hope you're ready to learn all things about AU in this episode because here we go.
Hello, my name is Susan Davies, and I'm your Vice President for Enrollment and Student Affairs. I'm so delighted that I get to talk with you today about 4 to Finish. These are 4 aspects that we want you to incorporate into your life here at Augusta University in order to be successful. We feel like if you incorporate 4 to Finish, that you will be happier with your Augusta University experience and that you'll graduate on time. So what is 4 to Finish? Number 1, engage. We want you to engage both inside and outside of the classroom. Join a club or organization, speak with your faculty member after class, engage in undergraduate research. Number 2, we want you to make purposeful choices. Make purposeful choices about how you spend your time, about your major, and even about who you study with. Make purposeful choices. 3 is to develop your academic mindset. We want you to come into college and to be a student here at Augusta University with a growth mindset, with a mindset that allows for you to learn from others and to bounce back easily from mistakes. And number 4 is to follow your program pathway. This means following your curriculum in order to graduate on time, but it also means thinking about what you want to incorporate into your academic program to make it even more holistic for you. That might include an internship or student leadership. When you graduate from Augusta University, we want you to graduate with your degree in one hand and a career plan in the other. And 4 to Finish will get you there.
Sierra Sasha, welcome to In the Wild. Super excited to have you.
Thank you.
You're still relatively new JAG on campus, but how has it been so far being a part of AU?
Yeah, so essentially my past 7 months has been nice being here at AU. I am essentially an Augusta native. I went to Academy, Richmond County down the street.
Okay.
So yeah, like I know of everything when, AU had the different name changes and things like that, especially when they was definitely advocating a few years for the big name change. So it's nice essentially coming back and serving the community.
Well, we're excited to have you, so thanks for being here. And today we're talking about, just for our prospective students out there, some of the unique opportunities that they could get or experience with us because, we are an experience like no other.
Yeah.
And part of that, to me, is the Augusta Promise Scholarship.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about that scholarship for those who are unfamiliar?
Yeah, so essentially the Augusta Promise program is essentially new last semester. I kind of got hired to do that position. So a little bit about my position. I am the Access and Education Coordinator within the Office of Multicultural Student Engagement. So to kind of break my position down to like subcategories. So the access part, there is, of course, Augusta Promise Scholars that I work directly for. So I am their coordinator. And then, of course, I help host first gen initiatives here on campus. So essentially, the Augusta Promise Scholarship program is a start to finish program, right? So literally the students do an application who are HOPE or Pell eligible, live and reside in the state of Georgia. Essentially, when it comes down to the Augusta Promise program, students who reside in Georgia who are either HOPE or Zell Miller eligible can essentially apply to be a part of the Augusta Promise program. Of course, we have like the interview process and things like that, but it is a start to finish program for students to have additional funding for they can actually graduate essentially debt free. Like that's the goal. Yeah. I wish I had that type of program.
Right. Because Zell Miller and Hope are great, but basically there can sometimes still be a little bit of a gap, and that can certainly help students who are in need. Yeah,
so like literally it helps with like housing, like food, or, just getting those extra textbooks and things of that nature. It's just like the little extra push where, you might essentially, some students may take out a credit card or like an additional loan. And it's like, nope, we're here to kind of serve you to make you feel more included and don't have to worry about the extra things.
I love that. And like you said, I wish that was something that existed when I was a student here, but I feel like I say that all the time. Like when I was a student here, I wish all of these things existed. What do you think inspired the creation of this program?
Yeah, so essentially, in my perspective, looking at the creation of the program is to essentially just be another resource for the students, right? At least so far, to my awareness, I don't see any other universities doing this. So essentially, as we know, AU is the experience like no other, and we are very innovative and try to start new initiatives that will better help the students progress. And those things are important because, like we kind of state and things like that, like nobody kind of wants to go to college feeling like they don't have the extra support that they may not be getting from their family aspects or their guardian aspects. And it's like, of course, we want to build that great experience. Of course, belonging is, the most important thing. So allowing Augusta Promise to kind of start this creation and to help the students with those resources is important because even within our program, there might be the scholarship aspect, but we do community building. We do those extra, of course, the mentorship, the counseling, whatever that student needs. I'm essentially one of the liaisons. Like I said, I'm the coordinator. So I kind of help build those external or internal resources for those students. So, of course, they have to do academic success pieces. They have 2 community building events per semester with me. They do have a mentor in the program and things like that who is an upperclassman, first generation college student as well. So they have all these different pieces and resources that, other students may not have the ability to have.
I love that because it sounds really holistic in your approach. Not just say, okay, here's some extra funding for you, but you're actually saying like, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to make sure you're good here.
It gets you more accommodated to the campus.
Yeah.
Because, like, funding is nice. Of course, you can have the money in the world and things like that, but it's like, do you belong? Do you feel valued? Do you feel welcome? Do you feel seen, right? So at the end of the day, as a person who experienced college myself and then grad school, I didn't feel belonging. I didn't have the sense of belonging at my first university and things like that. So kind of building those gaps and segues for these set of students who come in each year, it's important because, it's important because everybody wants to feel seen, essentially, no matter what that looks like at whatever university.
Right. And hearing you say that kind of reminds me of my first year on campus. I'm also first gen college graduate now. Yeah. But definitely that was a new experience for me as well as my family. Did not come from the most privileged family, so support was limited, especially for me being 2 hours away. Like, you kind of...
I went 6.5. I went straight to Florida again.
So, you're experiencing independence on your own for the first time. And, if you don't necessarily have someone that you can just call on for that extra support, whether it be financial or emotional, mental, I think a program like that can definitely, like you mentioned, like help bridge a lot of those gaps and help you feel like you belong. Because before I started getting involved on campus, I did kind of question my place on campus and things here, like school is going okay, but that's it. And, college is a lot more comprehensive than just academics.
Yeah, like all of the struggles that you essentially stated, and then on top of being first gen myself, it was hard to navigate, what different events do I want to go to? Like, where's everybody going? Do I even fit in with everybody and things of that nature? So, with the Augusta Promise Scholarship program, essentially, like I said, you have that built-in mentor. And essentially, we're very particular about, the parent and things like that. Okay. So, if you have seen some of the Augusta Promise Scholars, the mentee and mentorship, essentially, it is very authentic. We have we have a scholar and a partner. Both of them are music majors. Well, actually, no. One is psychology, and our scholar, she's a music major. And they're, the bestest friends. And it's very authentic. And, it's nothing forced. They do their monthly check-in, but they literally check in with each other every day to kind of, push her to, go to those different, not only our community building events, but, the different events that we actually have, on campus and things like that. So I would say, of course, with Augusta Promise, there are the requirements that they have to meet, but it's very minimalized requirements. But like I stated, it's more for them to get accommodated to the university. So some of the requirements is attend 4 different enrichment events. So this might be an academic, a career services, maybe a homecoming event, something big and things like that, or civic engagement. Those type of college experiences. At least try it once. At least try it once. However, if you don't like it, you only have to do it once at least do one of those 4 things like once a semester. And then it's like, okay, if you don't, you don't. But however, like I said, just trying to get them more accommodated where it's like, like we kind of said, we wish we had that push, when we was, in undergrad. So I feel like it's important to have those different segues for the students.
Yeah, because I think coming from high school to college, in high school, there's all that structure built in, whether it's from your schedule or how it's built with the admin to support you to make sure that you're going to graduate. But when you're on a college campus, you may not necessarily have that, especially if you're first gen and you don't know what that might look like.
Yeah.
Having that mentorship program, having just professionals like you involved,
Yeah,
like it definitely
the self-discipline at that too.
Yeah, definitely makes a difference. And I guess, what is it like for you when you see your mentors and your partners in the program just starting to connect and bond and just naturally starting to connect? What is that like for you?
It's like a great feeling. It's a warm feeling. Like, essentially, it makes me feel like it's natural at the end of the day. Like, it's nothing forced. Like I stated, like, we have essentially 5 Promise Scholars and we have 5 mentors or Promise Partners, excuse me. They kind of like pair with each other. Like I said, it can be, we kind of paired them with like academic standpoints, something that like might be like their hobbies and things like that. So it's very intentional to already have like some type of connection. But however, like they've been building their own connections without me. Like I said, we only have 2 community building events per semester. So essentially, I might see all of them in one room at that time if they're not in class. But other than that, I see them more on an individual aspect and things of that nature. So just seeing them actually bond with each other, actually might see them in the JSAC just having lunch and things like that. It warms my heart because it's like, oh, they have a buddy. And it's like, it's not a buddy program, but it's just like, it's just nice because it's always nice for someone to have someone else, especially when they are trying to navigate their first year at a university.
Yeah, the first year can definitely be tricky.
It is.
And you have just the natural learning curve of that transition. But like you said, whether you're first gen or have any other barriers existing, it can definitely have an impact on your success. But to switch gears a little bit, I have a fun game that I want to play with you just to see some more of Sierra Sasha's perspectives on things. So we have pause up, pause down.
Okay.
If you agree with the statement, I want you to give it a pause up.
Okay.
But if not, I want you to give it a pause down.
Okay.
So first up is buying textbooks brand new from the bookstore instead of renting or purchasing used books.
And it is based off my own perspective, right?
Yeah, you can just you're speaking for you. Pause up.
I like new things. I like new things.
You like new things?
It makes sense to buy new textbooks because I can highlight my own things and make my own notes that way. So I feel like it's more important, but everybody has a different perspective.
I got you.
Yeah.
I definitely love to find them on Amazon Kindle so I can rent, and I can still kind of have that same experience of just renting, even though it's digital. So it's like, but it's on my iPad, so I can still highlight things and refer back to it. But I know once the end of the semester hits, it goes away because it's a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
But next up, getting a part-time job while attending school to help cover expenses. Pause up.
I would say more of having an on-campus job, if you can. I do understand that everybody may not have the experience to get an on-campus job, but I would say it builds like that, the self-discipline essentially to already be aware of like, what is it like to juggle 2 things at one time, academics and work? Because even if you become like a graduate student and things like that, you might have a graduate assistantship, or you might have to take that part-time job or full-time job to just make ends meet at the end of the day. So
yeah, I definitely recommend folks working on campus if you can, because for those folks, they understand more than anyone else that you're a student.
Yeah.
And that sometimes you'll have competing priorities, rotating priorities, and things just outside of the job, and they're okay with it because they understand that.
And you actually get the grace that you deserve at the end of the day. Like me, I kind of started off in an office just like, Multicultural Student Engagement for my undergrad. And literally from a student to even a coordinator there and things of that nature, they understood when I was a student first. So it was like, take care of yourself. Why are you here if you have a migraine? Please go home. If you have like a big job or like a full-time job at that point, they might be like, well, you might be sick and gotta be here. So it's like, as a student, if you are capable of getting a job on campus, I hope so. Because you can get that grace and understanding that other external places won't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Next up, using student discounts for entertainment and dining around town. Pause up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, every penny
Jack
counts.
Perks.
Every penny counts at the end of the day. It does.
Yeah, I love all of our Jack Perks partners that gives us discounts around town. Splurging on daily coffee or snacks from a cafe instead of making it at home.
I just got better at this in my adult.
Okay, you gave it a pause down.
I just got better at it. I just finally got a Keurig. I was definitely one of the students who was definitely going to like the cafeteria, always going to Starbucks and things like that. Get yourself a Keurig, save some money. Definitely, do what's best for you. If that brings you self-care and joy, definitely go for it. But have balance, I'll say. Definitely have balance, and I keep it that way. Just have some type of balance.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that's like, I just need to treat myself. Yeah. So I just want to...
And you deserve it.
Ooh, this is a good one. Using credit cards to pay for tuition and school-related expenses. Pause down.
Pause down. If you have to take out a student loan, I feel like that's fine. But a credit card, that can become very tricky and things like that. Because, unfortunately, I had to take out loans and things like that. Did I have to use credit cards to get like my MacBook and things like that? Especially since I went out of state and that, I didn't stay in Georgia and things like that. So there wasn't help and things. So I used the credit card for those purposes, but not to actually pay for my tuition. So I'll say, Jack, pause down for that one. Yeah.
Taking advantage of campus resources like tutoring and fitness centers instead of paying for outside services. You had pause up before I even finished.
And I had to look in the mirror for that one. Sorry. It's definitely a pause up. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't utilize my campus resources. And I'm a big advocate to this day of please use your resources. Because one, it's there for a reason.
Right.
Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a job to do and things like that. And for the students, these resources are built for them. It's not built for us, So essentially, definitely use SCAPs. Definitely use, academic success services. Use all of those things. Even if you feel like it might be the bare minimum question, go ask a question. You'll never know if your student org might need funding. Go talk to SGA or, go talk to different big offices who might have those fundings set aside for you. You'll never know what you can find out until you go and ask. So never be afraid to ask.
Yeah, and your tuition and fees cover so much.
Yeah.
Like, don't waste the money that you're spending. Like, take advantage of it all.
Yeah.
Because literally once you graduate, you will have to be paying for all of these services individually. And it adds up.
It does.
Next up, spending money on expenses or experiences like concerts or trips rather than saving for future expenses.
That's a good one.
You're hesitating.
I am. Read the question one more time.
Spending money on experiences like concerts and trips rather than saving for future expenses.
That's really a good one.
Don't overthink it.
I'm going to say pause down.
Okay.
As I stated earlier, definitely take care of yourself, find moments of joy and things like that. I wish even when I was a student and things like that, if I had, I was always about academics. I didn't even do too many on-campus events and things like that. Didn't get to travel. But however, I wish I did have those moments where it's like I was able to go and take a trip and things like that. But unfortunately for me and my experience, academics was important I had bills and things like
Right.
that because I was paying for my own college experience and things of that nature. So I had to do what was right for me. But for other people, definitely take the trip, But don't overindulge in those type of things when you have school you have to pay for, a car note or things of that nature. So
Yeah, my first thought for that one is like in moderation.
Yeah.
Right. Like trying to splurge on every opportunity to have fun.
yeah,
Can't recommend that. But yeah, sometimes, you need to just
if you have if you have responsibilities, unfortunately, you can't just go and take the trip or go to a concert and things like that.
next up, buying name brand items over generic alternatives for groceries and supplies.
Y'all got some good questions.
And once again, this is for you.
I know.
This is for you.
So you said buying name brand over generic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say pause out, and this is my perspective. I guess I'm just a name brand girly because one, not everybody, at least not everybody's, as they was growing up, was able to have those type of things. So now being an adult, being able to kind of afford some of those name brand things, I do like to have those things. So like for me, I like my, essentially different Apple products and things like that, because it might work better for me, how it connects with my phone, everything like that in that sense. So for me, it does kind of matter depending on what you're utilizing it for. So
I feel like freshman year me is definitely, hey, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices because you don't have the money to choose.
Yeah.
So generic, but now that I have adult money,
Yeah.
I can have the choice to choose between my name brand or which name brand or generic I want to go to. But I kind of am a name brand person too.
At least at this point, we just have to look for the sales. So that's why I was like, back then, of course it was generic. Now, since we have the big jobs and things like that, at least full-time jobs, it's like, okay, I could probably get name brand, but look for a sale.
Any other final thoughts before I let you go that might just be helpful for any student who is thinking about being a Augusta Promise student?
So essentially, like we kind of stated today, like today was definitely about like resource information. So definitely utilize those resources, like apply to be an Augusta Promise Scholar. Hopefully we get your application and things like that and kind of just move forward from there. I mean, it's here for you for a reason, Of course, like I said, we really want every student to feel, valued and welcomed. And of course, to utilize those resources for you can possibly graduate, debt-free. So, yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Sierra Sasha, for being here chatting with us. I think you did a great job with pause up, pause down. But yeah, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
All right, so first I want to say thank you again to Matthew and Sierra Sasha. I really enjoyed talking to them both and them giving their perspectives on what's making our university unique. 100% support and appreciate the Augusta Promise Scholarship. So if you're interested, feel free to check that out. And if you are a prospective student out there and you think that this is the place for you, don't hesitate to go ahead and apply. Applications, as you already know from Matthew, are still open. So we'd love to see you here this fall. And until then, I will see you guys in the next episode. Go Jags!